Hey diecast fans, so I found this thing at a local used toy store. I'd never even heard of it, so I'd just show you what I found online. This is, first of all, it's by a company called Kentoys, never heard of them, and the line is called X-Tuner, around 155 diecast, but they are cartooned, so take it with a grain of salt. But at this image here, we can see at least 7 castings by these guys. A 350Z, an RX-7 FD3CS with some sort of body kit. And that WRX, I forget what generation that is. The Celica, boy, I can't recall the generation of that, but it's like a 90s, late 90s. The Supra JA70, I think it is. The CLK Benz, and then S15 Sylvia. They're all modified, with body kits and crazy turbo systems and stuff, except for maybe the Benz. And then here's a photo of a bunch of different colors, liveries of these castings. So if you guys know of more castings, please leave a comment for everyone else. But I like Skyline GTRs, and this is what this is. It says try me headlights and interior lights. So there's probably a battery originally, but yeah, there's no way that thing's working now. How old is this thing? Let's see if we can find a date on this thing. Seems to be all actually licensed. So all that licensing approval, although they don't look realistic, so that's quite interesting. Oh, it's nice. It gives the specs of the car. Alright, yeah, 280 was their published horsepower, but everyone thinks it was a lot more than that. There's some silly gentleman's agreements across the Japanese brands at that time. I can't find a date, or I missed it. Please leave a comment if you saw it here. Look at this battery replacement sheet inside. I mean, this paper is yellow. Oh, down here, look at this. No date. It's from Hong Kong. There's a website, kentoys.com.hk. I mean, look how old this paper is. Alright, so if you want, you can replace the batteries. You gotta unscrew something apparently, and it takes 2 coin cells LR1130. That is not a normal size to my knowledge. Okay. What a waste of plastic. Who is ever gonna collect this packaging? It's hard to actually see the model in a round tube. This is a crazy amount of plastic. It's all screwed together. It's like they're transporting like a viral virus or something, or a sci-fi movie, that is. And clearly this hinges. Here we go. There's 2 tabs up on the top. Then the hinge is open. Then what do? Looks like it's screwed in there. So if this is screwed in, maybe the car just should come off, but this is crazy. Unless it just slides out. Maybe it's just stuck because it's so old. See, it's got sliding grooves, but what's holding it back? Well, that came off. I think it's just the friction of these tabs. They're just so tight in there. Well, you know what? I'm not going to keep this packaging. It's just crazy. I don't have room for something like this. I guess I'm just going to have to destroy this. This is some affecting anti-theft packaging, that's for sure. What the heck? This is nuts. Yeah, well, it's gotta be these 2 pins holding it in place, but they're so tight. Okay. Well, this is nuts, so I'm just gonna have to take the thing apart. I will actually keep these screws for model making purposes. That's a small screw size, though. This has different screws on this side. Oh no, this, I see. It's like a crazy, well, let's see. So those don't come out. They're just flat because there's a knurling, and that's what's holding the door in place. All right, well that's broken. Oh, I see. Look at that. It is screwed in place. So this is really weird. You gotta, first of all, no one has a screwdriver like that usually. Alright, this is a jewelry file, or a jeweler's screwdriver set. I don't think the average kid or adult would want to deal with this just to get to the toy. This is just so strange. Okay, so there. If that's unscrewed now, you can add and remove it, but then the thing's still screwed to the base here. Boy, you'd think this packaging was designed by NASA or something. They meant to go to Mars. Okay, now 3 more screws for the battery. So this is why I complain about packaging. I don't know what this thing cost originally, but half of the cost of this toy was the packaging. You have all these metal screws, all more plastic. It's just nuts. Alright, so let's check this out. Maybe the battery does work. No. Okay, so there's a do not throw away icon here, and then it does say Nissan Moto. It doesn't say that it's a Skyline though. It's kind of strange. I think there's a tiny Kentoys logo there. Alright, well, I'm gonna open it. Let's just do the average standard review first, I guess. So, let me close out these windows back here. Boy, we are already 7 minutes into this video. Craziness. So this yellow, it's not metallic, it's just a mustard kind of darker mustard color. What I like about, these toys is instead of certain scale models, these are all tampo prints, all these graphics. There's no decals like a lot of more expensive scale models have. So, and however old this thing is, which I don't see a date on this casting, the paint is still in good shape so far. And considering this is a yellow paint job, it's doing a decent job covering up the casting. You can still see some darkness around the edges, but it seems fine for me. There's a little stain there, but I'm sure that'll come out. Yeah, alright, so that stain is gone. So these wheels, I don't know what they are, but they look like they would be aftermarket JDM wheels. There's a black cross drill indicated brake rotor back there, so that's interesting. The wheels are quite recessed because I guess they're trying to make it sure it's a toy and it rolls. And it does. And the rubbery tires here are quite modern looking, and they're staggered in height and width. Okay, so the mirror is just casted in. There's a little dimple there. The door handle is nice detailing sticking out, a little finger recessed underneath it. The black molding around the windows is nicely painted. And I like that the windows are open so you can see the interior easily. There's not quite enough black here, sadly. There's no silver on the mirror era, that's okay. I can't imagine these cost a lot when they're new. If you do know what the original retail price was for these things were, please leave a comment again. Helps people get an idea what they're worth. Today, that is. Okay, well, we got the giant intercooler with a Nismo printing there. Unfortunately, no black paint here, but there is black paint here. There's no turn signal orange either. But I like that the headlights are clear plastic, and you can see like a rectangle back there. So that's kind of neat. It's not the best trimming off the plastic molding sprue, but maybe a hobby knife would take care of that. Or I can take it apart and fix it. Little casting line, unfortunately. Okay, so now, yeah, this is a die cast, so we have a paint rash going on. That's pretty common to die cast. No black paint there, but nicely molded details here. Nice tampo printing across the windshield there. The dashboard is cool. There's some texture to it, and then a whole bunch of aftermarket gauges going on. The black window molding looks good. You can see the interior well because it has a sunroof. Very cool. More molding around that window. This side here, yeah, alright. The tires, very low profile, but they're not slab-sided. They actually have some curvature to them, so that looks good. The side vent is nice and deep, you know, no paint though. And again, I think for whatever this thing cost new, I think it's probably fine. Alright, whole bunch of weird body vent details, I guess. The exhausts are nice because they are actually round, and the exhaust tip is just really deep. Probably goes all the way through. So they're separate pieces, as you can see. The chrome is vaporizing off though here. This tab holding the base down has become the license plate, but no graphic on it. And then Skyline looks good, GTR looks good, although that R should be red. And then I don't know what these parachutes or I don't know what those would be. Oh, maybe this is a fast fuel filler system, like a race car has. Alright, recessed turn signal and brake lights, so nicely painted there. The wing is plastic, separate piece, is kinda thick, kinda toy-like, and kinda roughly molded. This edge is not smooth. But they did tampo print Extreme Tuner on there. What's weird is this actually is proper English, but the packaging isn't, right? Well, I guess it's called an X-Tuner, not Extreme Tuner, so maybe that's why. You can see some sort of molded on the backside surface defroster lines, so, or unless that's paint on the backside, but what I'm touching here is totally smooth. And then some aftermarket stereo stuff. What is that in there? Some sort of plumbing? Oh, nitrous. It's a nitrous kit. That's pretty cool. That's a nitrous bottle, and this is all the plumbing for it. Okay, blue seats look good, and so we have a right-hand drive with a nice steering wheel. Seems like it's upside down though. The gauges are in vents. They're nicely done, nice and silver. Maybe those are gauges on right there with the needles, possibly vents. All right, this is actually pretty impressive. I'm still gonna open it just because I want to see about the battery thing. So we have a flush screw here. 2 screws, and yet a license plate tab. That's kind of strange. This is not a flat. This is a button head screw. So it's kind of weird they would have 2 different screws holding this together. And yeah, I think they could have not had this if they're going to screw it in 2. Oh, so that's what happened to the electronics there. The battery is totally gone bad. I don't have that kind of battery anyways. That's really strange. But yeah, it looks like it has headlights, as you can see on the circuit board. It's got headlights. What I don't see are, there's no taillights. But this looks like an LED right here, so that might light up the interior. So I think there's 3 LEDs going on. But sadly, I don't think I can find a battery. Let me see if I can fit something else in there. But I still don't even know how to open this. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So I didn't even need to take the car apart. Oh, I think this is an LR44 battery. Let me clean all this up and try to get it working. So here's the inside construction. Got the rivets holding that on. And then there's the interior. It's got seat belts. Yeah, the gauges. Pretty nicely done, I guess. For a toy, that is. Alright, so you can see some battery acid on there. I had to rewire 2 of the wires. The green one's original. It's very thin. All the wire copper inside is corroded out. So I just have some new ones. And yeah. Well, it definitely turns on. So if I hit the bottom button, you can see it's not very bright though. Either the batteries are old, or I just think these are old LED technology. Right. Let's see if I can get this in. I don't know if I will because the wiring was so thin, and it's underneath the interior. Yeah, my new wiring is too thick. the thing's not going to go back together. See, it's all very tight up in there. So you can see the light would be in the back. Write that thing again. So I guess that's kind of neat. So it's trying to light up, I don't know, I mean the engine of the front on this thing, but if there's a rear engined car, that would be kind of neat. And then I would have to assume the headlights would be kind of neat as well, but unfortunately I can't put it together. So yeah, you're just gonna have to rip these off again. They're just too much in the way. You're really supposed to have the wires underneath this board, but the thing is melted together, so it's not easy to do. And then, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work either. Ah well, forget it. Let me clip all this stuff off. What a shame, I just spent like 20 minutes doing all that, just so I can do that. Anyways, after this video, I'll never look at those lights again anyways. Even so, it's still being held up by something. Maybe it's this one. Could be too much wire here. Yeah, there's not much clearance there. Yeah, I think there's too much solder up there. Okay, well, you saw the lights. That was a big feature for me. So, since I'm all into collecting the muscle machines now, that's why I bought this. Although it is way bigger. I was hoping it'd be the same. There's the Skyline silhouette. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So the muscle machines must be, boy, if I had to guess, somewhere 158, 160 scale maybe? They're definitely bigger than 164 scale stuff. But they're obviously smaller than this, which claims to be 155. So that is unfortunate. Darn it, I don't want to collect big models. I don't have room for them. Okay, well, this I guess might be my only extreme tuner, unless I can find them for really cheap. I'm not going to buy them for the elevated prices I see on eBay. So I guess it all has to come down to the original price. You know, if these were like $5 new, I think they're fantastic. I mean, they look pretty cool, the quality control is okay, and it's just interesting that they would even take the resources into putting the electronics in there, and then having that crazy wasteful packaging. So, but if they're at $20 new, then yeah, these things just aren't, I don't think they're worth it. I'd rather have muscle machines. So thanks for watching today. We'll see you in the next deformed car video.